Hello and welcome. You're watching India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Over the course of the next half hour, three major developments nationally and internationally we focus on. First, Tamil Nadu. A blast near a temple has triggered a massive political storm. Was there a big terror attack afoot? In the north, tension simmers in Vadodara in Gujarat. Clashes erupted over bursting of firecrackers on Diwali. Petrol bombs have been hurled even at the police. Was this a planned riot or a spontaneous flare-up? We'll try and get answers to that big question. And finally, the United Kingdom has its first Hindu Prime Minister. He rarely talks about his faith, but Rishi Sunak wears Hinduism on his sleeve. All this and much more. But first, as always, the headlines on India First. Indian origin, Rishi Sunak becomes UK's youngest Prime Minister at 42, steps up after Liz Truss was forced to quit over a trail of an economic mess. Sunak warns of tough decisions ahead.
I will place economic stability and confidence at the heart of this government's agenda. This will mean difficult decisions.
Air quality levels best in 7 years for the national capital. A day after Diwali, Aam Aadmi Party government takes credit. BJP asks, will action be taken against those who flouted the cracker ban? Communal clashes in Vadodara on the occasion of Diwali. Stone pelting reported. Petrol bombs hurled at the police. India Today accesses shocking CCTV images. Five people have now been arrested in connection with the blast that took place near a temple in Coimbatore on the 23rd of October. Police probe a radical Islamist terror angle. Out on parole, rape and murder convict Gurmeet Ram Rahim's fresh provocation. The self-styled Godman releases new music videos after coming out of jail. "269 people had been killed in the Easter Church Sunday attack in Sri Lanka that happened in 2019. It's now suspected that the main accused, Jameza Mubeen, a 29-year-old suspected bomber, was plotting a similar terror strike in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. He, of course, was killed when there was an explosion, perhaps prematurely, in his car. Based on CCTV images, 5 others, including Muhammad Azharuddin, Muhammad Riaz and Ismail Khan, have been taken into custody, and UAPA cases have been slapped against these 5. But there is now a political war, with the BJP accusing the DMK of downplaying the terror angle, calling it a gas cylinder blast in a car. This man, Jameza Mubeen, was killed when a gas cylinder kept in his car exploded close to a temple in Coimbatore. Police initially suspected it to be a cylinder blast, but closer scrutiny of the blast site revealed stunning details. Police found ball bearings, shrapnel, iron and aluminium nails at the blast site, all indicating towards a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device or a car bomb. Police identified the driver, Mubeen, and a subsequent search of his house revealed the presence of chemicals used to make low-intensity explosives, including potassium nitrate and sulfur. Police also scanned CCTV images around his house and found that several men had helped Mubeen load the cylinder in the car. 5 men have now been arrested and are being questioned. They've been identified as Muhammad Thalka, 25 years, Muhammad Azharuddin, 23 years, Muhammad Riaz, 27, Feroz Ismail, 27, and Muhammad Nawaz Ismail, 27 years old.
அந்த கார்ல வந்து நமக்கு சில தடயங்கள் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. அதுல ஆணிகள், கோலிகுண்டு அந்த பொருள் 2 பொருள் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. மற்றபடி அது தடய அறிவியல் துறை அவங்க ஆய்வு செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இந்த நபருடைய வீட சோதனையிட்டதுல சில லோ இன்டென்சிவ் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோசிவ்ஸ், பொட்டாசியம் நைட்ரேட், அலுமினியம் பவுடர், சார்கோல், சல்ஃபர் இது போன்ற இந்த நாட்டு வெடிகுண்டை தயார் பண்ணக்கூடிய சில பொருட்கள் கைப்பற்றி இருக்கிறோம்.
The BJP has come out all guns blazing, accusing the MK Stalin government in Tamil Nadu of downplaying the terror incident. The state BJP chief K. Annamalai took to social media platform Twitter to urge the chief minister to come out of hiding and own up to government's failure.
As political party, we have waited for almost 48 hours. At least to use the word called terror attack has happened in Tamil soil. That is what we want. You are calling that as a cylinder blast, and you are trying. So that moment you say a terror attack, at one end it also means people will take extra precaution when going out. It also means. That is also you have to say. If you call this as a cylinder blast, let us imagine one more module is active. That module might do an attack in the next 1 week or 10 days. Then what will the state government do? All we are doing is telling the government, people have started to know this is a terror attack, this is a suicide attack. Please don't hide anymore. Please arrest people, give us confidence.
Top police officials rushed to Coimbatore after the blast, which was initially suspected to be a cylinder blast in the car. But the recovery of explosives, ball bearings and shrapnel and the background of the killed suspect have led the police to widen the scope of the probe. The killed accused Mubeen had been on the radar of the NIA even in 2019. He had been questioned for trying to set off explosives but was let off because of lack of evidence. The BJP says this was an Islamic State-style attack planned similar to the Easter church bombing in Sri Lanka. Investigators are now probing whether there is a link of the accused with the plotters of the Sri Lanka church attack. Bureau Report, India Today. So you've heard the BJP's allegations. They claim that the Chief Minister's office in Tamil Nadu is hiding facts, downplaying its failures. The Islamic State links and foreign handlers, that aspect is not being highlighted. Tamil Nadu police insist they've arrested the accused, booked them under sections of the UAPA, the tough anti-terror law. Joining me on India First is Vinod P. Selvam. He is the spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP. For perspective, we also have with us Dr. Vikram Singh, former Director General of Police on counter-terror operations. Mr. Selvam, I want to ask you first, where is the evidence to suggest that the Tamil Nadu police is downplaying these arrests? They say that stringent sections of the UAPA have been invoked against the 5 accused. The 6th is dead.
Good evening to all our viewers. See, it is very important to realize what has been happening in Tamil Nadu ever since the ban of PFI. Never before in like any other state in India, 20 incidents of petrol bombing have happened all across the state. Especially the highest number of bomb attacks, petrol bomb attacks happened in the city of Coimbatore. So already Coimbatore is a city which has been on alert. And as you also discussed on the show, in 2019, when the Easter bombing attacks happened in Colombo, the highest number of people who were being quizzed by the police were from Palakkad, which is a neighboring district of Coimbatore and Coimbatore. So Coimbatore has always been a hotspot of terror ever since the 1998 terror attacks which killed 58 people happened. 12 bombings, 58 people had died. And it is very interesting to note that even back then, the DMK was in power in Tamil Nadu. And today, a very serious, very serious act of terror by God's grace has been averted on Tamil soil. On the 23rd morning, if you compare the Easter bombing and this particular incident, you can realize that these two were festivals belonging to different religions. A Christian religion.
My question to you was very specific, and you've had an elaborate preamble. You haven't come to the point still. But let me bring in Dr. Vikram Singh. Sir, do you find this alarming? Is the threat, is there anything to suggest that the threat is being downplayed? Because Mubeen was under the scanner even in 2019, but apparently let off for lack of evidence?
Gauravji, this is scary to say the least. I would say that there is a lot that needs to be done, and every evidence after the blast indicated that this is a terrorist act, with the background of Mubeen and Mubeen being on the radar of the NIA. And what was the recovery at the site of the blast? Ball bearings, shrapnels, marbles, nails of aluminium and iron, and other telltale materials that are invariably used the world over in homemade contraptions and such IED blasts. And to say that it was a cylinder blast is an attempt to cover up the whole incident. I'm very disappointed by the very professional Chennai police, Tamil Nadu police, coming out with something that it was a low-intensity blast. The low-intensity blast was there to ensure that a bigger blast of the cylinder takes place, giving rise to a lot of incendiary burns, incendiary materials being thrown, and then the blast would have killed so many people had it been programmed and done well. Well, Mubeen obviously bungled up the explosion, and because everybody was lucky and they did not result in many casualties. It was only the person who was fixing the bomb, he died. Well, if he was on the radar of the NIA, then the basic thing, it is not rocket science. I would repeat, it is not rocket science. Such people should have been on the radar and they should have been treated as such. Even now, I would say that apart from the UAPA, provisions of the National Security Act should also be invoked against all of them.
Okay, Mr. Selvam, K. Annamalai, the state BJP chief, alleges that the accused Mubeen was being handled by some handlers outside India. Sir, where is the evidence to suggest this? Because this was some man, apparently locally radicalized or self-radicalized, tried to rig up a contraption, he failed and he died. Where is the evidence to indicate that this is a foreign crime?
From the minute the blast had happened, the Tamil Nadu police has been downplaying the incident. The DGP rushed to the spot immediately only to declare that this was just a cylinder blast. And only when the media persons questioned them over and over again, he even admitted that yes, a few nails were found. Now, this is an absolute failure of the intelligence of the Tamil Nadu police, which is usually good otherwise. The Tamil Nadu police, which is directly under Stalin, because when the chief minister took oath, he pronounced that the Tamil Nadu police will directly act under his onlooking. And today, the intelligence has failed because they have recovered 55 kgs of potassium nitrate, ammonium, sulfur, and so many products, 7-volt batteries, everything like Vikram Singh sir had mentioned. Everything which is needed to make bombs at home were found here. And also, the WhatsApp status of this person, of Mubeen, was changed just before the blast, clearly indicating that this is an ISIS module, similar kind of attack. And he has constantly been in touch with people who have been recruiters for the ISIS in different places.
Dr. Vikram Singh, these allegations are extremely serious. Islamic State ideology, radicalized youth, a threat that was apparently being handled from overseas. This would indicate a conspiracy much larger than what is being portrayed as of now. But could this effort be that until the handlers and others, especially the domestic module, is neutralized, the police may be downplaying the threat, sir?
Absolutely right. The nation, and I would personally like to thank you and your channel for highlighting this very serious incident. It cannot be brushed underneath the carpet. To do so would be suicidal and chopping at our own roots. Let us understand that downplaying does not help anyone. And as the esteemed panelist has said, the Chennai and the Tamil Nadu police are extremely professional. But in this case, as I mentioned earlier and I repeated, I fail to understand whose purpose would be solved by diluting the case. Yes, it has been downplayed. People are trying to dilute the case with such sensational recoveries. The local cohorts need to be absolutely identified and neutralized. And then reverse engineering to go into all the aspects, the support systems, the financial backups, and also those who were navigating them to commit this kind of a crime. Yes. And it easily can be done, and the Tamil Nadu police are pioneers in this technology. They can do it. If not, well, I feel that the time has come, the NIA should take up the investigation, and they should take up the investigation because they do not require any propulsion. They should, and I'm rest assured, after your program, a decision will be taken. NIA is bound to take up the decision sooner than later.
Okay. Mr. Selvam, Jameza Mubeen's house was searched. You mentioned some of the chemicals that were recovered. Certain other material, as you say, including that 7-volt battery was recovered. Based on CCTV images that the police scanned, 5 others have been arrested. Tamil Nadu police say we've done our work. Why be suspicious of their motive at this stage? 5 others have been taken into custody. CCTV images have been recovered. They've also said UAPA cases have been put against the accused. Why the suspicion that there is political pressure to go slow in this case?
Sir, it is very evident. See, till this moment, the Tamil Nadu government has not come out with one statement. Now, this should be declared as an act of terror. That is the only way people are going to stay vigilant. People are going to be aware of what is happening. But the Tamil Nadu government refuses to talk about this. You should be in a position to call a spade a spade. You cannot hide behind the curtains of saying, oh, communal harmony, and I'll be hurting religious sentiment if I talk about a certain instance. You're putting the national security at risk here. You are putting the lives of several people at risk here by not coming out and speaking the truth. The Chief Minister is answerable to the people. And now, if you notice clearly, these 5 people who have been taken into custody and UAPA has been slammed on them, all these people have been somehow connected to the 1998 bombings. One of them seems to be the brother of one of the masterminds of the attack. One of them is the son of a person who was responsible for this attack to have been taken place. So, it is very evident that at many junctures, this all leads to a specific scenario where we expect the Tamil Nadu government to come out and verbally admit to the failure and to also ensure the safety of the people.
Dr. Vikram Singh, does this indicate a wider module, a bigger module at play, especially, even if it's in hushed tones, this conversation about this Muhammad Dalka, Muhammad Azharuddin, Muhammad Riaz, Firoz Ismail and Muhammad Nawaz Ismail, the 5 accused who've now been taken into custody, would there be a bigger module given the connection that some of those had with the earlier Coimbatore blast which had 58 fatalities, sir?
Mr. Gaurav Samant, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let us not live in an illusion that they are the only and the last repositories of the terrorist act. They date back to 1998. And also there are close links between the Easter bombings in Colombo and also the bombings in Coimbatore. Also the fact that the 5, they also have a past record and they were on the radar of the NIA. All these mappings give us the indication that they are hardcore ISIS operatives with a deep backup support, both financial and logistic. Under these circumstances, to presume that we have come to the end of the investigation would be living in a fool's paradise.
Sir, does the NIA automatically take up cases of terror, because that is where state government influence or lack of it does not come at play? If there is a terror attack, should the NIA not automatically take up those cases, sir, as per SOP?
This is the SOP that in matters pertaining to national security and terror incidents, the NIA does not require anybody's clearance as against that of the CBI. The NIA, I'm sure, after your program is going to take up this case. By tomorrow, lo and behold, I'd be the happiest person when the NIA notification is out that they're taking up this investigation.
We shall be tracking that story very, very closely. Ms. Selvaj and of course Dr. Vikram Singh, as always, many thanks for joining me here on this India First special. Will the NIA take up this case? We'll be tracking that story. But I now want to move from Tamil Nadu to Gujarat. Communal clashes marred Diwali celebrations in Vadodara. Clashes broke out over some crackers that were burst on Diwali close to a hospital. Subsequently, there were clashes between 2 communities. Petrol bombs were hurled. The Gujarat police are also investigating whether this violence, the petrol bombs being hurled and all of that, whether that was spontaneous or was there a bigger design? Because street lights were suddenly turned off. Petrol bombs were apparently stored on rooftops. Was this violence pre-planned? Saurav Vakhtania is on ground zero. He's filed this report.
The Vadodara police being targeted with petrol bombs. Burning Molotov cocktails hurled from 3rd floor building at policemen patrolling riot-hit streets. The Gujarat city witnessing communal strife on Diwali night. A face-off over burning crackers leading to communal clashes. Dramatic CCTV images show how the violence erupted. It all started when a group of Diwali celebrators, including children, were busy bursting crackers. One of the rockets misfired and landed near people believed to be from another community. Soon furious clashes broke out between both sides. Children were seen rushing inside their homes and heavy stone pelting ensued. Rioters, many of them with their faces covered, can also be seen vandalizing CCTV cameras. Soon petrol bombs were hurled, even as Vadodara police moved in to contain the violence. The police point to a planned riot as troublemongers systematically targeted street lights using petrol bombs and targeted cars and torched vehicles. The police are probing the CCTV footage and have nabbed at least 19 accused.
પોલીસે તાત્કાલિક પહોંચીને કાર્યવાહી કરી છે. હાલમાં પરિસ્થિતિ સંપૂર્ણ કંટ્રોલમાં છે. જે પથ્થરમાર થયો છે કયા કારણે થયો છે એ બાબતે અમે સીસીટીવી ફૂટેજ અને જે આઈ વિટનેસીસ છે એમની પાસેથી અમે પૂરી માહિતી મેળવીને આ બાબતમાં સખતમાં સખત કાર્યવાહી કરવામાં આવશે.
According to the police, the area is communally volatile and has seen riots in the past few months.
और रात को 12:30 बजे के बाद ये लोग ना अग्गासियों के ऊपर से पेट्रोल के बम के गोले बना के ऊपर से नीचे फेंके लड़कों के ऊपर, और ये जो भी सरकारी लाइटें थी वो पूरी टोटली सब बंद कर दी. सरकारी लाइटें पूरी बंद कर दी.
Police officials have started the investigation. They have made a special team to investigate this whole particular case. They have detained over 20 people in this matter, but clearly a politics has started. BJP's Amit Malviya and other leaders are saying that this was a proper pre-planned incident, a pre-planned riots to actually target the Hindus. With camera person Sajid Alam, this is Saurabh Vakhtania in Vadodara for India Today.
And in the UK, Rishi Sunak has scripted history. He's become Britain's first Indian origin Hindu Prime Minister. From lighting diyas on Diwali to performing Gau Seva and Gau Puja, celebrating Janmashtami at a Hindu temple, Rishi Sunak doesn't shy away from showing his connect to the Hindu religion and culture. He is a non-beef-eating, non-alcohol drinking former Chancellor of the Exchequer. He was earlier at 11 Downing Street. Now he's moving to Britain's most prominent political address, the 10 Downing Street.
Rishi Sunak is therefore elected as leader of the Conservative Party.
A practicing Hindu, Rishi Sunak was named as UK's Prime Minister on Diwali. Two years ago, when he was Chancellor, Sunak lit candles to mark the Festival of Lights on the doorstep of 11 Downing Street. Although he rarely speaks about his faith publicly, Rishi Sunak wears his Hinduism on his sleeve. After the 2017 general election, he swore his oath to Parliament upon the sacred Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita. Sunak has said that the Gita comes to his rescue during tough situations and reminds him of his responsibilities.
But at times of the most difficulty, what Akshata has done for me is to give me the teachings of the Gita. And she has done it. She has done it on the phone, she has done it by message, but it is the Gita that has given me strength over the past few weeks to keep going and to keep fighting for the things that I believe in.
Sunak also found time for darshan at a temple during the course of the long campaign and had members of the Indian diaspora praying for his success. As per media reports, Sunak always keeps an idol of Sri Ganesh on his table. He earlier made an appeal to give up eating beef, and he never has it himself. Sunak was also seen performing Gau Puja in London. The video, which went viral, was shot when the 42-year-old visited a cow enclosure along with his wife Akshata Murthy, the daughter of Invokes founder N.R. Narayana Murthy. Sunak was seen getting up with a brass vessel in hand and offering the holy water. The priests around the couple then told them about the next ritual. On the occasion of Janmashtami in 2022, Sunak visited the Bhakti Vedanta Manor temple with his wife Akshata in advance of the popular Hindu festival celebrating Lord Krishna's birthday. With Coca-Cola as his preferred beverage, Sunak might be the first teetotaler Prime Minister of the UK since David Lloyd George. Bureau Report, India Today.
Rishi Sunak does have huge challenges ahead, especially the economy and of course the situation in his own party, and we'll be tracking that story very closely. That is all I have for you on this special edition of India First.